bids are in, the gavel is dropped. Ladies and gentlemen, here at WineBid, we are finally hammered. This is, of course, WineBid's podcast dedicated to all things wine value, wine auctions, wine retail, and occasionally just talk about wine. My name is Jeff McGurn. I'm on our WineBid marketing team. With me, as always, is our wine auction and wine expert, Paul Walker. Welcome, Paul. This is our recap episode. We're going to go over what happened in this last week's auction. There were definitely some interesting things going on. Let's start off with some stuff that we talked about last week. We talked about the Domaine Francois Raveneau. We had a 2011 we had three of them. They got 13 bids, started at 115, hammered at just under 185. Any surprise to see such action on the Raveneau?
No, not really. I mean, anything under $200 for Raveneau is considered a value at this point. I was a little bit surprised to see the 11 AC Chablis sell for a little bit more than the 09. I thought the 09 would actually do better because I think there was only one bottle of the 09. And so I kind of expected it to get bid up higher. It's a stronger vintage than 11, but it didn't. It actually sold at 170. So that was kind of interesting to see. I wouldn't expect that. I think, the other vineyard designated wines are far, far, far more expensive. And we saw that also, as I think most of those sold through last night as well. But you know what? There was another lot of 09 as well. And it looks like it's sold for 180. So I guess the single bottle 170 is kind of surprising. I figured that would have gotten bid up more. But anyway, lots of great Raveneau last week, and not surprisingly, there was a lot of activity. So
a lot of great Raveneau. We had a lot of action on 2020 Duckhorn Vineyards Cabernet Sauvignon, which surprised me. But pretty sure you could go get that anywhere right now. But
I know, like 2022 is, $30 though. I mean, that's
a good deal
under retail. So it's the stigma of the vintage. I think that's going to affect a lot of California 2020s because I've seen the prices are at auction are pretty low for a lot of those wines. So compared to, standard retail, I think from the winery, that's going to be a lot more than $30 or 32 or however much at Hammer. I think $32 was the Hammer.
We had a couple bottles of 2017 JJ Prum, Werner Sonnenur, Riesling Cabernet number 6, and this one started at 35, hammered at 41. Thought it was really interesting to see, 9 bids, a lot of action going on. Riesling, I do love that producer. I'm a big JJ Prum fan. They make some fantastic stuff. We had 6 bottles of the 2016 Chateau Tronquoy Lalande. This one, 8 bids, took it from 30 to 36. And then, of course,
deal. That's still a good deal. That's
still a great deal. 2016 is a fantastic year in Bordeaux, and $36 for that producer especially, I think, is just a steal, right?
Yeah, got a bunch of good scores. I mean, whatever, low 90s, if that means anything. But, it's for a great vintage like that, probably drinking really well now. That's a steal. And I was going to say the JJ Prum, same thing. Those wines, it's a cabinet, but still $41 a piece. That's still a fantastic deal for such high quality, complex Riesling. That's not a simple wine. So yeah, some great values there for sure.
We've got, of course, Beringer, 2007 Beringer Steinhauer Ranch Cabernet Sauvignon Mag. We had 2 of those. 7 bids, took it from 85 to 130.
Yeah, and that's not too bad because 85 seems way, way cheap to me for a single vineyard from a great vintage in the mid 2000s. Whether or not you like that style of wine, it's still $85 is super cheap. So even at 130 a piece, that's not bad. The 08 Reserve too got bid up just a few bucks, but still for quality of wine, Cabernet from there, I think that's still not expensive, $73 or $72, whatever it's sold for.
No, not at all. We had the Domaine Jacques Perrier, Givry Chambertin Premier Cru. This one, we had 4 bottles actually. 7 bids, took it from 70 to, I believe it's like 79. So a little bit of action there. And then going back to Germany, 2019 JJ Prum, Bernkastler, Bad Stube, Riesling Cabernet number 7. This one, we had 7 bids, so from 25 to 41.
Yeah.
So people love it. I think the word is out that German wine is actually really good.
Yeah, I mean, that is kind of interesting because it's coming up, it's a cabinet again, more recent vintage, started pretty low, but still, yeah, climbed up to $41. I think, you're starting to see some of these wines are actually hammering for what I would expect them to, where, German wines have been traditionally just so so reasonable and inexpensive historically. I mean, I think there's still plenty of examples out there. JJ Prum obviously gets, I would say, a lot more attention than other producers, even at retail as well. I mean, there's probably tons of great Riesling at retail that I'm definitely not familiar with, and we probably never see at auction, but
for sure.
Still, it's out there. But I think that's still reasonable. I think $41 is still not too much to pay for 19 JJ Prum cabinet.
No, I don't think so at all.
Sorry, I was going to say that we skipped over real quick. Was that
Hofgut?
No, the 14 Vira Barolo Rivera. That seemed cheap to me because some of these Vira wines are really expensive, and the 14 that sold for, there are 4 of them, it looks like, sold for $42, $43, $44 a piece. Did not seem like that was very expensive. So I mean, 14, not sure how solid, this wine was received by the critics, but I can't imagine it's, I mean, it got, like, compared to other vintages, I guess it got relatively low scores, but still for me, that's not that big a deal. I still think that's a great deal.
If you're looking at the ratings on your favorite site, Cellar Tracker, it does get pretty darn good reviews and tasting notes, and it's got 9 years of age on it. I mean, 45, 43, 44, $45. That's nothing for a bottle of Barolo, nice bottle.
Especially from that pedigree producer.
And by the way, speaking of stuff I sort of kind of skipped over, there's a Hofgut Volkstein Niedermanager im Kleinschock Riesling Cabinet number 20. This one started at 20.
I like that complete pronunciation with the number as well. The AP number called out.
Right.
What does AP stand for, Jeff?
What is AP?
I always forget what AP stands for. Actually, I have it on the wall.
I actually don't even know.
Tilke Prüfungsnummer. So I'm not pronouncing it correctly, but that's what it stands for.
It stands for accounts payable.
Anyway, well, that's what the number 20 refers to, a fraction of the AP number, which is important to collectors and aficionados alike. So there you go.
Indeed.
We don't need to go into why, but it is.
Just know that it is. And
it's a long.
There was also some Altzinger, Leubner, Steinertal, Riesling Smargd. This one, 6 bids, took it from 40 to 66. So
moved over to Austria. Yeah, no, that's great stuff. Leubner's, that's awesome wine. Not too surprising because that doesn't come up. I mean, we haven't seen hardly any of this stuff in any recent years at all. In fact, I don't see any recent hammers of any of this wine in years. So that's a rarity. And this also got enormously high scores. So go figure.
And, I mean, other than that, look, there was some other interesting stuff. There's a 2010 Belaud Simone Chablis Vaudesert, which started at 90 and hammered at 170.
Bio Simon Vaudesert. Yeah, okay, I see that. Trying to look for it. That got bid up. That's a pretty impressive increase. I wouldn't have expected that much, actually. 90 to nearly, to 170?
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot. I mean, these wines typically, too, are not terribly expensive. We've got some recent action on some of these within the last few years, but nothing has ever hammered over $100, at least for Vaudesert, probably maybe for Lake Clos or something, but still that was surprising to me. So collectible, obviously now, didn't used to be, but it is now.
We also had a 2016 Claw Mogador.
Oh yeah, I had mentioned this, or I was going to mention this wine. I don't think we got the chance to.
Oh, did we not?
Yeah, no, I don't think we talked about anything from Spain. But I flagged this bottle because I think it's like a collaboration I believe. Yeah, it's a Clos Mogador, but there's something special about it. Of course, I don't have my notes from last week, but I was surprised actually that it was in for a $30 reserve. I was like, that seems really low.
Seemed like a fantastic deal.
Yeah, it did. I think I was going to bid on it, and then it just got carried away, so I wasn't able to.
Yeah, I mean, the other one was the Domaine du Coulet, Mathieu Barret, Cornat. This one started at 55, hammered at 73. So a lot of action at Cornat.
Yeah, there was still some rare Rhone wines in last week after we saw a huge amount of them in a couple of weeks ago. Last week there was some pretty cool stuff. This is one of them. I don't think we mentioned it, but Coulet, I'm not familiar with Coulet Mathieu Barret, but Cornat's Terrasse du Cerf. That's a rare bottling. I don't think we'd ever sold it before, or if we did, it's been quite a while. I think I actually flagged one in the current auction too, because the last time this was an auction was in 2020. So, and then prior was 17. So every 3 years, it looks like it seems to pop up.
And then anything else you want to talk about before?
There were a couple of stars, and there was 05. Let's see, a couple of bottles of 05 Coast Street, Corton Charlemagne hammered it at, what did they hammer for?
6,200.
6,200 apiece? Yeah, 6,200. Yeah, 6,200 apiece. It looks like one of them sold. Excuse me, not
one of them sold for 6,200. We had a 2017 Petrus Mag, which sold for 52.50.
Yeah, not bad. 6-pack of Solaya 15 looks like sold for 24.90. There was some more Rousseau in last week, 22.35 on the 11 Chambertin. And there was some 19th century Madeiras.
Yes.
Did a Serato Madeira Boal, which hammered at 34.30, which was
there was a slew of 19th century Madeiras.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Like an embarrassment of riches of it was like did somebody find a pirate ship that had run aground or something like that? I mean, I was just like shocked at how many we had coming into auction last week.
That's true. Yeah, there was quite a bit. And no, other than that, there was some serious Bordeaux that sold in 3-packs and 6-packs. There's a bunch of 100 acre that did quite well. 14 Kongsgaard Judge Chardonnay hammered at what I think it was $400 a piece, a little more than $400, I think, $420.
And of course, you're probably waiting for the best for last because I know this is one of your favorites, but a 2014 Ghost Horse.
I did see the Ghost Horse. Yeah, there
11.50.
There was multiple. Well, did you see there was also 14 Ghost Horse Premonition Cabernet that sold at 15.80. So yeah,
they knew that was going to happen.
Wild. And that Macedo, I think the Macedo, we did we mention Macedo last week? I'm pretty sure we did.
I don't think we did an Italy episode last week.
No, that's true. I'm sorry. I think I must have flagged it, but we didn't get a chance to mention it. But Bottles 16 Macedo 775.
The other one that I thought was really cool was the 2019 Henri Boulard Corton Charlemagne 3-liter, the OWC that sold for $730. I thought that would have been a really cool bottle to grab.
Oh, is it Boyo, did you say?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Boyo 3-liter. Yeah, that's a pretty awesome bottle. 3-liter of Corton Charlemagne. You don't see those very often. Would have been appropriate for La Paulée last weekend, but would have been a little late to hammer that on Sunday. So anyway, that's pretty cool.
Well, I think that just about does it for our recap. With WineBid's finally hammered, this is Jeff McGurn and Paul Walker wishing you happy bidding and cheers.
Cheers.